Hi, I'm Scott Francis, editor of Products Finishing, and I'm talking today with Derek Degeest of Degeest Corporation and Lesta USA. Derek, pleasure to have you here on our On the Line podcast. Love to talk to you about automation technologies that you're looking at in finishing. You guys distribute for Lesta, providing automation solutions for finishers. Tell me what you're noticing about trends in automation for finishers today.
I would say the biggest trend that we're seeing is that everyone's looking at automation in finishing, and everyone is looking for help to be able to help their companies be successful. We all are being faced with labor shortages, and we're all being faced with trying to do more. We're being asked by our customers to make more. So how are we going to make more, and we can't find the people? The only way is that we have to find a way to bring technology in that can help them be more successful. And so really what we're looking at is that not just a labor shortage, which we were talking about even before the pandemic, but now the pandemic just, I think, moved us forward about accelerated us another 10 years even forward, even more, about a real urgency there of the vulnerability that we have, but also that the technology in general for all manufacturing is increasing at an exponential rate. We're getting faster, things are getting, through the equipment is cutting faster, where the robotics in welding and pick and place and brake presses, the automation is increasing so quickly on the fabrication side that companies are able to fabricate faster and faster and faster, and they're increasing the velocity that they can make parts, and it then ends up in the finishing area and you got to paint it before it can leave. And so now that exacerbated by not having enough people and the labor shortage on top of that with increased production demand is really kind of bringing finishing to its knees, because the answer in the past has always been because technology has not been there to be able to work with the general industry and smaller manufacturers we have to throw more labor at it and more labor. And the equipment companies and the finishing industry with what they have, we're doing a great job. But now there's technologies available now that small to mid-sized shops now can look at actually using automation, and they're very eager and open to be able to change their processes and find a way to adapt that to use in their facilities.
So what are some of the innovations, some of the technologies that Lesta is providing?
Lesta does self-learning robotic technology. So it's an industrial robot that disengages its motors and it goes into a free float mode and can be used in real time in a production environment by your painter. So you don't have to have robotic programmers. There doesn't need to be extensive training or offline, or take your best people to computers, or to learn or be trained on other processes to be able to work with the technology. They use the knowledge that they already have and the nuances of their parts and their system, and the robot works with them. And so when they're painting a part in real time, or powder coating, they're making their program. Not just path generation. The self-learning robotic technology is about so much more. Lesta's technology is so much more than just path generation. That really has been the strive to be able to find a way to be able to do that in a quick and easy way. And Lesta's been doing it for over 30 years. And so now that if we take that technology and now we're able to give that to your painter, we're not just generating a path. Every preset, every different parameter is being used in real time. So all your nuances, all your gun angles, your attack positions, how you look at a part and how you paint your part, all of that is being done and used, and you're getting that keen eye of your painter in real time, because not only is it just the generation of the part, it could be the different paints that you're using on that product. Maybe the viscosity of that paint is different. Maybe it lays out differently. Your flash times might be different how that is. Or your booth might be pulling your paint differently, or your powder. And if it is, you see that and you adjust and you just paint it. A painter, powder coater makes thousands of decisions all the time they don't even know they're doing. And so now they're teaching that to the robot in real time as well. Lesta is just giving them the ability to get that knowledge out of the hood, out of the booth, and able to apply that, let the robot become an extension of themselves, and then come out and continue to fine-tune that process and their each of their programs and make their company better.
So you touched on this a little bit. We talked about workforce, and we talked about the drivers of interest in automation and streamlining communication, streamlining the way things are done between manufacturers, fabricators, and finishers. What do you kind of see? What is your vision for how the landscape of finishing is going to look like in a few years?
I would say that we're going to continue to find ways, we have to as an industry, find ways to standardize our processes and get better at how we apply and how the process in each of our companies is done. Right now, everybody has their key people. Every company has got a key person that can make their system work. And they find ways to be able to do it. A lot of them are spinning plates and running around, and they know the tips and little tricks they got to do to be able to make it work. But what happens when he's sick or they're gone? How do you get through the day? Now, they're able to be able to do that, but you can't scale that. And all the companies that I'm talking to are worried about that person retiring or that person getting stolen for another $1 an hour or finding another job or deciding, you know what, I don't think I can do this anymore. And so as that production is increasing, they're getting pressured more to be able to produce, and they're getting spread even thinner. And so the landscape of what's going to change is that we're going to adapt technologies to be able to give them time to standardize processes. We have to get better, and now we see that self-learning robotic technology is that answer to be able to do that for companies, because you're empowering those key people that you have to be able to have that robot become an extension of themselves so they can be multiplied and they can be used in other areas. Now, we're not worried about losing them. Now they can put that knowledge into the robot, and now they can move that job and can become more of a career. You can get your people to be able to stay on longer, and that knowledge you're pouring into your robot and saving into your process and data. And so that allows them to be able to stay longer, and that knowledge is being retained. Your company has that knowledge, and then also now incoming people can learn from that, learn from them, your key people, and it really is a way to be able to bridge that gap and bring the younger generation now can also get excited about manufacturing because they can, or in the finishing area, because there's opportunities to make careers out of this, or that there's technology that they can see themselves using and that they're not going to also get burnt out, or they're not going to get wore out or get hurt doing.
Well, Derek, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. I agree with you. It's a super exciting time, and really enjoyed hearing your insights into this.